Oh, wow, there I am. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Monroe, and I'm right back at you with another real estate video. Tonight we got a good treat for you. We're going to go over a great deal on how Mr. SmartBucks brought in a $63,000 whale of a deal where it actually made a big difference, and he got it on a creative way. He's going to break all that down for you tonight. But the reason I do these type of videos is to show people what is actually possible when it comes to creative real estate, creative marketing, and creative strategies that can actually change your life like that. I mean, I've seen people do big deals, and I'm like, man, I'm going to catch me one of them whales too. I'm going to keep ringing it on out there and catch one as well. And you can catch one too, because there's plenty out here for everyone. So I do want to make sure if there's something in this video that you like, or something you feel like gave you any type of value, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Also, ring that bell, bing bong, hit that bell so you can go ahead and be notified of the other videos that come up, because I'll be dropping some more stuff and some more cool interviews coming up. So without further ado, let me see if we got Ty, aka Mr. SmartBucks. What up, bro?
Life is good. Life is good.
Whoa, whoa. AKA Mr. SmartBucks. What up, bro?
Life is good. Life is good.
I turn your volume down on your thing.
Mr. SmartBucks. What up, bro? Life is good. Life is good.
I turn your volume down. Is that a feedback on your end there? Yeah, you can turn your mic down a little, or your speaker down. We should be okay. Can you hear me?
Feedback on your end? Probably on my end.
Turn your volume down a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh,
no.
Can you hear me? See something?
I can hear you.
Hold on. I might have to put the headphones on.
Yeah, you might have to go headphones, because that thing feeding back heavy. Heavy. Let me see something.
Put the headphones on.
That thing feeding back heavy. All right. You gotta put the headphones on, because that speaker is feeding back into your microphone a little bit there. But nevertheless, Ty Harris, there he is. We gotta, let me see, disconnect you and put you back in, because I don't know what's going on there. But nevertheless, I'm gonna talk about this 63,000, not 6,300, not 63, not 63 cent, 63,000 plus wholesale deal once he comes back on there. And like I said, if you just joined in, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, what up? Mr. Cooper, what's happening? To check out the house and see what it's about. So it didn't really need much work. It needed a little bit of work. And so I'm asking, well, what do you think you want for this house? It's like, well, we had it listed about 6 months ago for about 112,000. I was like, oh man, that's high. And he was like, well, we really would have took less. We tried to tell the agent to put it down for less, for like, 90 or something, put it in the 90s to get rid of it. We just want to sell it. So I'm like, oh man, that sounds a little bit better. But he said, you know what? We'll take even less. We'll take 86. So I'm like, damn. Let him keep talking. He's bidding himself down. 112 to 90 something to 86. So I said, okay. So I'll take a few pictures, do my little, go back home, do my research, run comps, see what the houses in the area selling for, comparable sales, you know, similar build, similar square footage, things like that. I call the guy back and I say, you know what? We're not too far off. You wanted 86. Would you consider taking 80,000 for this house? We'll pay the closing costs and you don't have to worry about anything. He said, you know what? I think that's going to be a deal. Locked it up for 80,000, sold it for 90,000, $10,000 deal. Let me get my hands right. $10,000 deal for a deal that walked up to me at a gas station. How about that? But he got a better story than that. I think we got Mr SmartBucks back on. Let's see what we got here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You know what? You know what I was doing?
What you was doing? You had it on a YouTube.
There we go. I had YouTube and the you know, the backstage with the software for the live stream.
Okay. I got you.
Okay.
So let's see here. So now you just disconnected again. Let me see here. Back in full effect. You late. Did y'all hear the story I just told? Somebody just said no sound. Whoa, no sound from me or no sound from him? Who had no sound? Did you not hear no sound from me from that long story I just told? Let me see here. Is it my mobile connection or anyone hear anything at all? So could you not hear me or could you not hear him? Who could you not hear? Can you hear us all? Because something happened. He got booted off now. He'll be back on in a second, I guess. Let's see here. Refresh. What's up, Mohammed? How you doing? Let's see. You say just got it back. Just got the sound back. Hey, just got it. Okay, back in full effect. All right, who we got here? You late? What you missed? Man, you missed a bunch of stuff, man. You got to be on time. Let's see what else we got here. We hear you. Okay, you can hear me. Truth Seeker. Good to hear you. Good to see you. Let's see here. You heard, let's see, heard the end of the story. Oh, no. I got to tell it all over again. Let's see here. He said he heard it. Just got on. Okay. What up, Robert? How you doing? And then let me bring him back on.
I'm back.
All right. Here you go. Mr. SmartBucks.
I'm back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I had to put you back in. So can everybody hear loud and clear? Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you can hear. I want to make sure we right. Hello. Couldn't hear the beginning.
Here we go.
All right. I'll tell it again before we go on it. If y'all want me to. I might just make a video on it. It's kind of crazy.
Cool.
Let's see here. Whatever that is. All right, just got it on. What's good? All right, bro. What's up, Ty? How are you today, Mr. SmartBucks?
Life is good.
Great. So where are you from?
I'm from Jersey, from North.
Jersey. Okay, you up there with what's that famous guy that's doing real estate up there name now? Mr. What's his name? The guy that was on the Breakfast Club that everybody heard about wholesaling from. Ain't he from there?
Oh, I mean, there's a couple of people around here.
Oh, okay. I guess he's not that important if nobody knows his name. So I guess we'll think about that. But nevertheless.
Oh, you talking about Mr. J. Morrison?
No, not even Jay Morrison. Yeah, he's from over there too. But it's another guy too that was on. But I guess we'll figure it out. Nevertheless, I guess it's not that important. We can't think of his name. We'll figure it out. Nevertheless, you just did that great deal on $63,000 wholesale deal. I want to first tell you congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Mark Whitten, that's what I'm talking about. See, the people know,
Mark
man.
Whitten,
People
Mark
smart.
Whitten,
Look at this. They know stuff, man. They know what's going on. Mark Whitten, that's what I was talking about. All I had to do was say Breakfast Club, and they all like, breakfast. So give us a little bit of background about where you were before you got into real estate, how'd you get into real estate, and about how long you've been doing it.
Well, I got into real estate back in 97, 98, and started fixing flipping. You know, I quit my day job and I just went all in. By 2001, I had lost everything on one fix and flip on a 3-family. So I sat on my cousin's couch for a whole year, for 12 months. And, you know, so I got into fix and flipping that way back then. But then I got back into real estate in 2017. So I lost everything in 2001, got back into real estate in 2017.
So you say you lost it all on a fix and flip on one deal?
One deal. I started 98. I did about four fix and flips. My fifth one crashed and burned, man. I lost my house I lived in, my car, my credit lines, my cash, and I woke up and slept. Actually, woke up and slept on my cousin's couch every day for 12 months because I didn't want to go back to what I was doing before, and I refused to. So I had to get my mind right, My mom had to get my mind right, man.
Wow, that's amazing. So that just shows that you can actually bounce back. If you do fall off and mess up in this game, you can actually bounce back. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I crashed and burned in a lot of ventures and I'm bouncing back, So we had a clothing company, me and my cousins, we had a clothing company, wholesale to about 30 stores around the country. We went to China to get our clothes. We actually designed and made our clothes from scratch.
Wow.
From the tech pack to the fabric to the rivets, the zippers, everything, stitching. And so, we crashed and burned in that too when the market crashed and the Chinese came in with their own $20 jeans. So, we took a hit on that.
Wow. So you already was a business person before getting into real estate?
Well, that was before? That was after real estate. Okay. That was after real estate.
So what made you decide, or how did you come across learning about wholesaling, real estate, any of this stuff? Where did it first dawn on you that, hey, man, I need to get in this game right here?
Well, I got back into real estate because of a friend of mine. We go back 20, 30 years, and she had got a lawsuit. And actually, I was in that accident, and I didn't sue. I should have. But she got the lawsuit. And, she was in a position where her grandmother was losing a house, but her grandmother was in, I think she was in a hospital or not a nursing home. She was in a home or healthcare, somewhere where she was being taken care of, and she was losing a house. So I explained to her. I said, listen, you got some money. Well, she came to me. I didn't explain to her. She wanted to try to save her grandmother's house. So that's what we tried to do. But we missed the auction by 2 weeks. We was late by 2 weeks, and it was sold that auction. Wow. So anyway, me coming into real estate, I said, well, you know what? We got another option. Let's contact the guy to see if he would sell it back to us. The guy who bought it from the auction, and he wanted too much, way too much.
Hey, he tried to make a come up off of you, huh?
Yeah, they like the come up I had, but he tried to come up. And it was too much, but so we couldn't do the deal. So I talked to him and said, don't waste the money. Let's go into, maybe try to find another deal. You couldn't save your grandmother's property, so maybe let's try to do another deal and see what the market is at that time. That's 2017. I haven't been in the market for a while, so mind you, I'm looking for deals. And back in 98, 2000, 2001, we was buying 3 families, 30,000 for fixing them up for 40, 50. And I was still in that mindset. I didn't know the market. So I was making offers on the MLS for like 30,000, 40,000.
You didn't realize that the market had shifted on you, huh?
Absolutely. So I even made a couple of offers on short sales, was turned down. They didn't take the offers. So, me, we doing some research, and then I came across wholesaling. And actually when I first started, I was doing something. It wasn't really wholesaling, because I would look for sale by owners, and I would find people that were selling at a discount, and I would make them an offer and then go find the end buyer. So I wasn't actually dealing with the investors at that time. I would find the end buyer and make 10,000.
Wow. So you made 10,000 on a wholesale deal way back in the day.
Right, but it wasn't wholesaling. I mean, there wasn't no name for it, but it wasn't to an investor. So if somebody had a property for 125, I would find a buyer, so put them on the contract 135. I didn't have a contract with the buyers because I couldn't have a legal contract, so I had to take their word that they would, close the deal and give me the money afterwards. And I even would tell them, take out the taxes that they had to pay, because it all went to them. Take out the taxes and then give me the rest of it.
So you've been doing some wheeling and dealing out here in this real estate, all type of more creative than I even know about.
Hey man, you got to try to find out what you need and try to work around it.
Okay, so you got into real estate, and somebody asked on here a second ago, what took you so long to get back? Like, why did you take such a long break?
Hey man, that real estate, like even right now, I don't want to fix and flip nothing.
Thank you.
I
You
don't.
preaching my talk right. You talking my talk right now.
Listen,
I ain't
I,
fixing
I mean,
flip.
if
That's my
if
risk.
I have to get into a deal where the numbers have to work for a fix and flip, then it'll come to that. But I don't want to fix and flip anything if I don't have to.
So you've already been burned by that fix and flip thing. Everybody want to get in. I want to fix and flip. Like, man, you don't know what you're getting into.
Absolutely. And,
Especially,
and 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 me myself, I know my weakness. I'm not good at managing people. As far as staying on their backs and being on them aggressively, I know if I give somebody something to do, I let them do it, and I want to, and I'm not on them. So my management of people is not good. I have to put somebody in a position to be the bad guy to be on them, because if I give you something, I'm expected to do it. I'm gonna come back, and that's where I fell short as far as contractors and construction. And I'm gonna tell you what happened in that deal where I lost everything. I didn't borrow enough money from the hard money lender. So when we started doing inspections after I bought the property, the main pipe in the basement was cracked. So I had to fix that all the way into the street out of my money, right? It was a 3-family total gut. So the plumbing had to be done from the basement to the 3rd floor. When inspectors came out, the plumbing was done completely wrong from the bottom to the top. So the contractor used somebody else license to get the permits, but they didn't know what they were doing. So then I kept going, taking my money out of my pocket and finishing the project. So I got everything fixed. 2 days actually before closing, somebody stole 26 windows and 2 boilers. So
wait a minute. You saying they stole the windows out the house?
26 windows, every window in the house they stole, and 2 boilers. 2 days before closing.
Wow. Welcome to real estate.
Welcome to real estate. So that crushed me right there. And so I was out of money. I was out of, in that time there was no YouTube, there was no internet, the internet wasn't around. It was, listen, you go out there, you find some resources, and you jump head in. And I went all in with both feet and took a dive and did a double flip and some twists. And I did land on my feet, land on my head. So
Okay. So, I mean, so that's kind of how you got started. So, go into a little bit about how you came across this $63,000 wholesale deal. How did you find it? What kind of creative marketing were you doing to actually attract this motivated seller?
well, actually the deal came from a property on my cousin block. And it's kind of crazy because my cousin had the magnets on his car, and the owner of the property stopped him in front of his house and was like, "You buy houses?" And he was like, "Yeah." And what he did was he gave her my number to call me. He didn't take her number. So remember, the money's in the follow-up. Get their number so you can follow up. So she didn't call me. And so I skipped traced and tried to find the property, try to find her number. And he even had some other people come tell him, like 2 more people told him about the property that she was selling, but we couldn't get in touch with her. And she lived across the street, but we couldn't find her. So at a certain point, the deal was dead because it was in her mother and father's name, but she never put it in her name. And she was living there for years, but she just never switched it. So at that time, the deal was dead. And then I get a call for a referral. Someone called me and said they had a referral about a property that, they knew somebody wanted to sell. And it was that property.
So are you saying you got some kind of referral program that you have out with people helping you find deals?
Right. I give $1,000 referral fee for anybody that brings me a deal and we actually close on. So that deal came from a card I left in a soul food restaurant around the corner from the house.
So a random drop card So basically, like one of them random drop cards people have, and they put like a fake card, like a fake 100, like that, and they drop it, and they say, "Oh man," and they
Absolutely.
picked up your card and called. Next thing you know, you got a deal, fell in your lap.
Absolutely. Yep, that's just what happened.
Wow, wow. So what was her motivation, or why was she just? What made her want to sell her house to begin with?
Well, she has said that she had, lost her job. She had a job, but at one point she was making less than what she usually made, so she couldn't keep up the maintenance to the property, and she was about to be foreclosed on for a tax lien.
Okay.
So it was a $4,600 tax lien, and
So
so
she was afraid because he's like, man, I got these taxes. They're gonna take the house, and I need to sell it. That's what she was thinking, or something, or what?
well, yeah, basically, yes, basically she was like, it's time to sell it.
Okay. And so did this house need a lot of repairs, or what was it? How was you able to get such a large chunk of equity into this deal?
Well, when I got the call, I went to go see her maybe 2 days. She said she worked most days, so she's only off on Friday and Saturday. So I went and saw her. I believe it was on a Friday or Saturday. One of those days I went to go see her, and I looked at the property. It had one hole in the roof that had water damage in the second. It was a 3-family, so it had water damage in 2 of the bedrooms down the back of the wall. But she basically, came and I looked at the property, and when I came in, really what scared me and what got me for the price that I got it for, it had 3 oil tanks. Basically, it was the damage in the 3 oil tanks that was in the ground.
Oil tanks meaning like what? What, like, is oil in what kind of oil tanks?
So you
What?
have gas. Your home can be heated by gas or oil.
Oh, okay.
So the oil tanks is in the ground, and each unit paid their own oil. So those oil tanks been there for a while, and they ran across the sidewalk, so I would have to break up the sidewalk and everything. But I wanted to keep it. This property, I actually wanted to keep it because I was going to do the BRRRR system, buy, rehab, rent, and refinance.
You was gonna do the BRRRR method.
Exactly. And I was going to keep it, and I wanted to keep it refi because in this situation, the price that I got and what I was going to rehab it for, it would have cost about 80 to 100,000 to rehab. And I was going to refi and keep it. I would have had a free house if I would have got
You
it
said
at
about 80K in rehab.
right.
What was the ARV of the property?
350.
350 ARV. It needs about 80 in repairs, and you locked it up for how much?
130.
130.
Right.
Was that something you had to work hard to get it locked up at 130, or it was kind of like just fell in your lap?
It fell in my lap. I mean, the seller, she everything went smooth. She didn't fight about anything. She understood what I was doing. She understood, everything, and even the structure of the deal was simple, and she had no fight about it.
She didn't give you no pushback. So do you feel like you could have got it even lower, or do you feel like that was just right?
I could have. I may have, because I did offer 120. But I was like, you know what? Because she wanted 150, and then I said, with the oil tanks, I wanted to take off 10,000 for each oil tank because you never know what can happen with those oil tanks. So I wanted to allocate 10,000. So I said, I'm gonna need it at 120.
Right.
And then she was like, how about 130? And I said, you know what? I was like 125. Then I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna. We'll stick to 130. I'm not even gonna try to get you down 125. I say you can keep that,
Exactly. And that was a smart thing to do. A lot of people make that mistake coming into the game, trying to beat people up so bad, and they kill the deal, and you were smart enough to say, you know what? Sign right here, baby.
Right. and absolutely, that's what I did. So after she agreed to the 130, I said, give me a minute. I went outside and got my contract, and because I had when I go on appointments, I have contracts ready right there for them to sign. So we came in the house, she signed the contract, and she signed the contract on that, I believe, that Friday or Saturday, and I was going to keep it, but even though if I'm going to keep something, I still show it just for a backup. And I'm glad I did show it because I was talking to the hard money lenders, and the hard money lender would give me the money, but they wanted me to take the oil tanks out first with my
What?
money. So that's what happened, and that's why I didn't keep it. I would have liked to, but I didn't keep it because the hard money lender wanted me to pull the oil tanks out with my money first. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and just let it go.
So that's a good tip. What you said though a second ago about, if you got a deal under contract and you planning on buying it yourself, still show it. Somebody might want to buy it, and you keep your exit strategies open. Is that something you would agree with?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because you just really don't know, what the deal will bring. Somebody might pay more than that. You never know. I mean, people do some weird stuff.
Yep. So that's basically the deal. And now the way I structured the deal was the way I structured the deal was for me to get the house. I didn't want to put any money down, so I always go into the deal like, how can I come out my pocket as least as possible, and how creative can I be to make that happen? So what I did was I asked her to hold. Okay, now this is the thing. When I was going to keep it, for me not to put any money down with the hard money lender has to be in first position. So I asked her to hold the second note in the second position so the hard money lender could be in the first position.
So are you saying that this house was free and clear, or did she have a mortgage on it?
She had a mortgage that was about around 37,000, and she had some other liens that totaled about 50,000 altogether.
Oh, okay. So did she walk away with anything then, or what? She just
Yeah, no. She walked away with some money.
Okay.
She walked away with some money, and she agreed to transfer the deed in my name and hold the second note in order for me to get the loan to rehab the house and refinance it. So she was going to ride with me. I asked her that too. When I took her to the attorney's office because I like to present when I'm doing creative deals with the attorney so they can understand that I'm not trying to do nothing shady, get over, we're in the attorney's office and he understands what we're trying to do, and I can explain to them so they'll know that what we're doing has paperwork documented and it's official. So she agreed to that, and everything was set.
So you were going to buy this house basically on terms.
I was buying it on terms, right, to keep it. But after that fell apart with the oil tanks, the deal just turned into something different where I didn't have to come out my pocket to purchase it or use. I didn't have to assign it, purchase it, or use transactional funding, because at the closing she basically gave me the property, and then I just sold it. So actually I did get a free house. And then
a free house, just show up and win, fill out some papers and get a free house. How about that?
Right.
And people don't believe it's even possible to get no money down deals and have no cash, no credit at risk, and make money in this business. It amazes me still to this day.
Right. So that was a great deal. It was a beautiful deal. But now what didn't go so good was the selling of it.
So you had to find a buyer.
I had to find a buyer. I found a buyer that Wednesday. So I had under contract Friday, found a buyer that Wednesday, and we went under contract. But this buyer tried to squeeze me for $10,000. First, he tried to squeeze me for $7,000. Then he tried to squeeze me for $10,000.
Really?
Yes. So he got slick, and he understands that most wholesalers has a time limit, has a time period. So he tried to waste time. And what he did was, first he asked for 30 days. That was a red flag for me right there. But the tenant still had property. I mean, like everybody still had furniture and everything, dishes and everything in all 3 floors. So they needed time to move out. So I figured, you know what, this is good. Everything is working out. It's aligning up. I need that time for them to move. and
So
he
they
needed
wanted
to
this
be ready.
property to be vacant before they buy it. Is that what it is?
Absolutely, it was vacant, but the tenants just still had their belongings in it.
All
And they
content.
furnished, right? So they was moving slow. They was moving slow, and I said that's okay. They need the time, so the 30 days works. So I said, okay, this is working out. But what happened was he put the wrong. So the seller is responsible for the temporary CFO. So it's sold as is. We don't do anything. I did tell the seller that I would clean it out because I told the seller I would clean it out, take what you need, and I would clean out I would clean out what they left. So the buyer wanted it cleaned out too. So I said, okay, cool. I was going to do it anyway. So I told him I would clean everything out. So what he did was when he applied for the CFO, first of all, he put the wrong information down.
Wait a minute. What for people who may not know, what's a CFO?
CFO, the certificate of occupancy.
Certificate of occupancy. Okay.
Right. So the certificate of occupancy is just the city saying that the dwelling is habitable and you got the right for tenants to move in. And what happened is you get a temporary CFO. In New Jersey, you get a temporary CFO. So what happens is the code enforcement comes out and they look at everything that's wrong with the property that needs to be fixed. So they give you a temporary CFO and they give you a certain amount of days to fix it after you close. So you can close with the temporary CFO with the code violations, but they don't fine you, but they give you a certain amount of time to get it fixed after you close.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And so, and also for the finding buyers part, what were you doing to actually attract or find a buyer for this property? What kind of marketing did you do?
Well, I have a buyers list I send out. I have other wholesalers I work with, and I post on Craigslist also. So that's how I find my buyers.
So were you getting a lot of responses when you were doing this marketing? Was it a lot of people coming in or tire kickers or other wholesalers popping up? Yeah, man.
Well, I got a guy that I work closely with, and he bought the buyer. So the deal was actually a $77,000 deal. The other wholesaler that I JV'd with that brought the buyer got $12,000.
Wow, this was a juicy deal, man. Everybody ate off this piece of chicken.
Right. Yeah, and I owed them that from a last deal he brought a buyer to the table for that. We kind of flip-flop and his buyer didn't get the deal. He was a little upset. So I said, I'll make it up to you. And I made it up to him in this deal. But we worked for this deal. You
earned it. It wasn't no freebies, huh?
Nah, because the buyer put the wrong information in for the CFO. So it took a couple of weeks for us to even catch that, because they had to get in touch with me to make the appointment to come inspect it. And they couldn't get in touch with me. So once we found that out, we corrected it. We made the appointment, they came out. Now when they come out, they inspect and they looking funny, like they came out on the application, they had put it's a 2-family, not a 3. So this is how he tries to squeeze me. He tried to waste time by losing time for the inspectors to come out. So now when we close to closing, we like 2 weeks to closing. Now they're saying it's a 2-family because that's what he put on the application.
So you think he did that on purpose?
He did that on purpose.
And he know dang on good well it was a 3-family. He put 2-family on the paperwork.
If you're buying a 3-family under contract, why would you apply for a 2-family for the CFO? Because his what he wanted to do was, so this is what he did. He said he would close without the CFO if we gave him $7,000 discount.
And I was just getting ready to ask you, is that mandatory that they do that to even close the deal? Because I mean, it sounds like something you just came up with.
Some people will close with the CFO, get it later. I mean, some people will get the CFO and close. I mean,
because it's an as-is property. That's part of the territory you go in when you're buying a house for cash in any condition. Is what it is. You shouldn't be like, oh well, contingency this, contingency that. That's not what we're looking at.
There's no contingency, but certain cities say you need a temporary CFO to close, and certain cities will tell you you don't need a CFO, you can close without it. So it's based on each city or each county, how they handle, the city, how they handle their laws as far as closing.
Okay, so that makes sense. So once you found this buyer, how long did it take once you got it in escrow? Was it kind of smooth after you really got the real buyer in, or did it take you some more trouble?
No, we had the same buyer. We had the same buyer up until closing. We had another back. We had a backup buyer that wanted it was bugging me every day, and he wanted and he wanted to pay more. He offered to pay more, but he was bugging every day. But we were so close to closing with this buyer, and what happened was, okay, now it's a two family, right?
Right.
In order to get it back to it, so now they did approve it for a two family because in order for it to be a three, we would have to go back and apply for a new. We would have to go back and apply for a three family, reapply, and he knew this, so that would be more time, and we close to closing. So what he said was, now it's approved for a two family. I want a $10,000 discount, or we're gonna cancel the contract.
What? So they try to extort you damn near.
Absolutely.
Man,
So
these people crazy out here. You got to know what you're doing in this gang, because they cutthroat killers, huh?
So you know what? I said, nah. It's a three family, and you know it, I know it. So I work with the city, went down there every day. Me and my guy Warner, that brought me the buyer. I like this guy because he also acts as a good transactional coordinator. He doesn't just send you the buyer and sit back, get my check. He was down to City Hall making calls, and he the one that actually found out that they messed up, or they messed up on the information they did put on the application was wrong. So he the one that caught that. So people that say they don't want to JV with people or other wholesalers, listen, put people on your team that's going to help you work and grind it out with you, and everybody eat.
I know that's right. So when it comes down to JVing or joint venturing with another wholesaler or somebody else that's going to bring a buyer or help out with a deal, do you always default to a 50-50 rule like most people say, or do you just figure out a percentage or a dollar amount that you'll pay them?
Well, this is how I'm looking to structure my system, because if you have disposition managers, you can pay them 5% to 8%. A lot of people do 50-50 JVs. I do 50-50 JVs sometimes, but it all depends on how the deal is. But I like to do 5% because when I'm trying to build a structure. So when I look at wholesalers as my disposition managers, other wholesalers disposition managers, as if they were part of my in-house team. So I would give them 5% on the deal if they bring a buyer.
So it beats a 3% on a real estate agent commission, huh?
Right, absolutely.
So 5%, that's a better rule of thumb, because everybody wants to jump in and say, let's do a 50-50. I'm like, you doing 50% of the work? I mean, I did all this work to get this deal. You made one phone call, and hopefully they do right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I'm kind of torn between that. Sometimes I'm like, it ain't worth 50-50 to me. It should be, what your weight is.
Well, a lot of people I watch and I listen to, they have a structure. Some people pay 5, some people pay 8, some people pay 15. But I like to follow that structure. So when I do scale up, I'm in the habit of following that structure, and I don't have to guess and go back and forth with this person, that person. And, this is the structure that we follow for our business.
Right. I would agree with that. And so, like I was saying, some people, they think that 50-50 thing, you got to do so much on the side to get the seller. People don't know how much harder it is. You got to deal with all the liens, the problems, the sadness, the death in the family, the dog died, with all these problems on the seller side. Buyer side, just, hey, yeah, you want this house? All right, here you go.
Right. And absolutely. And we spend dollars in marketing.
Yeah.
So we spending dollars in marketing. So
you spend a cold hard cash, a pull list, skip trace list, all this. That's a lot. Driving for dollars. I mean, that costs money.
Absolutely.
I was just looking at my thing earlier today. I said, dang, I spend that much in marketing and stuff. Pull back.
Absolutely. Tell the buyers that too. They be like, well, you can do this, do that, and you can make 10. I say, listen, don't worry about what I'm making, because this is what I say. Look, just say somebody in my family passed away. If they left me this house free and clear and you agreed to pay this price, Would I be making too much then?
Right. If I got it locked up for $1, you shouldn't have nothing to complain about. If I got it under contract for 50 cents, it ain't your fault. It ain't your problem. It ain't your concern. Pay me my money.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's what I usually use.
I know that's right. And so, for people that's watching live here on YouTube, if you do have any questions about this specific deal or about anything that he just went over there, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and we'll try to get to it before the video is over. If you have found any value of this, give it a thumbs up to this video. Also, Mr SmartBucks, where'd you come up with this name? What is that? What is that from?
Well, I mean, I didn't come up with it. My lady, her family came up with it. They call me Mr SmartBucks, so I just ran with it. Every name I got different names, but I guess I earned all of them. I didn't make up any name for myself.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. And so this $63,000 deal. So what do you plan to do with this? You gonna just reinvest it into the business, put it away, buy some real estate? What do you plan to do with it?
Well, I'm joining Antoine Campbell's virtual assistant mastery class, his mastermind. I'm joining that so I can teach, so I can grab some virtual assistants and scale up. So that's what I'm using this. I'm using it to scale up. And I'm going to Rafael Vargas. Rafael Vargas. I'm going to his mastermind in September, so I can scale up. And then once I do a couple of more deals, I'm going to Justin Williams mastermind.
Okay, so that's smart. You want to be investing in yourself, especially. Shout out to my brother Antoine Campbell. Yeah, he got that virtual assistant mastery. Virtual assistants, they kind of run my business. I need them. I'm not gonna do cold calling or grunt work and all that stuff. I'd rather have somebody else do that. I'll close a deal and do the stuff that's kind of harder. But like basic grunt work, I'm not for it. You know what I mean? It's good to know how to do it, to be able to show them how to do it. But other than that, I'm not doing it. So I understand that. Definitely learn how to get those virtual assistants in there. That should make a big difference in your business.
Right, absolutely. So that's where I'm going, and just scale up my marketing and scale it up. That's it. That's the focus. Just to scale.
What kind of marketing are you doing? Are you doing like mail, or are you doing what type of marketing?
Right now, mailing and cold calling.
So just are you buying a list and then mailing it out? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah. List source.
Okay.
List source.
So buying a list, mailing them something, and cold calling. You do the cold calling yourself, or you got somebody help you?
Yeah, right now I'm doing cold calling myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pulling lists, skip tracing, and cold calling. I started my own skip tracing company called skiptraceme.com.
Skiptraceme.com.
Yes.
Skiptraceme.com. So how does that work?
Hey, same as any other skip tracing service. You upload your list, put in how many leads you got, and we skip trace and bring back numbers, some emails, if they have other addresses, and we get them back within a few hours to 24 hours.
So skiptraceme.com, is that right? Is that it right there?
That's it.
How you get that nice
Hey,
URL, man? That's some kind of URLs I'll be trying to get.
Hey, I'll be in there searching. I'll be typing in everything.
Skiptraceme.com. That's where you can get it. So is it bulk skip tracing, or do you do one-offs?
No, bulk skip tracing. Minimum is 50 leads.
Okay.
So, I try to cater to the people that, driving for dollars. That, I mean, we can do bulk up to 20,000 more, but most of my clientele is the people that's just getting in, and doing 50 leads, 100 leads, 200 leads.
Okay. And so what's the turnaround time? Do they get it back pretty quick, or it take 24 hours, or what?
Yeah, up to 24 hours. Sometimes it come back in 3 hours. Sometimes it come back in 1 hour. It all depends, because a lot of times, people that send a list, it have a comma, it have a middle initial, and it'll have an apartment number on it, and I'll scrub it for them. I'll take it out so they can have the, so sometimes if I have a few lists, what I'm saying, that I'm scrubbing, it may take a little longer, but yeah, I try to
got more orders in the queue, so you got to do what you do.
Absolutely. So, they might not even have it formatted correctly. I'll format it because I want people to have the best, the best data and have as many hit rates as they want as they should, because a lot of people be like, yo, they skip trace this, they skip trace that. It didn't come back and I didn't get this hit, but they don't understand that a lot of times it be the list sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you might have a dot, a comma, and or LLC, and then you getting low hit rates and you don't understand why. You think it's the company.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, let's see here. Cooley Max say, let me borrow $1, bro.
Hey man, come on, anytime, man. You got hey, Cash App, man.
Cash App, $. See, my Cash App simple. It's $ Chris Monroe STL. All my stuff simple. Send me money. Nah.
Send the money, Cash App, man. Cash App.
All right. Are there any other tips or tricks that you want to leave with the family before we get out of here that you would recommend people to do? Like, I know one of them is definitely watch out what you're doing with the fix and flip is one of the ones I got. Anything else that you wanted to add?
You know, people say they don't want to use attorneys, they don't want to use title companies, they'll try to do things themselves. Hey, listen, get the people that you need that specialize in what you need. If you need somebody to do contracts, write what you feel like you think you need a contract for and give it to them and let them tweak it. But keep, just get the right people and don't be too cheap and don't be too scared to spend that money, because you have to invest in the business. You have to put it back and you have to do the work. The money's in a follow up also.
Follow up is key. I would agree with you. And definitely that, you got to have a team. Real estate and business in general is a team sport. You got to have good people around you or you're going to be playing yourself. Definitely don't want to be doing that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So other than that, let me see if we got any questions in the comments here. Let's see here. Let's see here. DJ Envy. DJ Envy's going to actually be going to the event out in November. Tony the Closer's event out in November. He's going to be at that one. Let's see here. What else we got? What up, my mentor, Chris? Let's see who else we got here. Any questions or anything, I guess? Let's see here. Do you already have a VA? EK wants to know, do you already have a VA?
Well, no, but I do use a mailing house out in Texas, so I don't send any mail out myself. When I first started, I went on Bigger Pockets and I found Jerry Puckett on Bigger Pockets, and he sent out the mailers, so the letters, the yellow letters. So
yellow letter gotta be yeller, or it ain't gonna.
Well, you know what? I use yellow letters in the metropolitan area because I know that we get all types of bulk postcards from all types of big box stores, so it's kind of, you toss them out. So I mean, I plan to switch the yellow letter, to some postcards, because now that you can put the house on it, I think it makes it a little more personal. So that's in a big city. I think you need to have something that's more personal for the seller than something just generic. That's just my thought process.
Yeah, because they getting bombarded with people sending them junk all the time, right?
Absolutely. Hey, I went to see a house the other day, and the guy had a deal machine. Somebody sent him a deal machine postcard.
One of these, perhaps?
Yeah, you know what? I take them. I say, how many you got postcards? Said, let me see. You don't need these, right? You mind if I take these?
That's right. Let me dispose of these for you.
Hey, absolutely.
So he's talking about a deal machine, which is an app that we use for driving for dollars, where people actually can, I use it as well. So I have about, 8 or 9 deal finders. So they actually go around town, take a picture of the house, put it into the app, and then we can actually send the mail with the touch of a button. We can look them up, their phone number, their email address, stuff like that, see who the owner is, all within like less than 10 seconds, all right there. And you can market to them on an automatic thing. So it's Deal Machine. And if you want to use that, I would suggest using the promo code WOKE, WOKE, for a free trial and a free deal credits. To try it out, Deal Machine app is definitely different. I've made, 5 or 6 deals from it. So are you using Deal Machine?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, great. I am. Haven't got any deals from it yet.
Yeah, and the trick to that thing is really not to be doing a lot of mail. See, I use it differently. I use it to gather a bunch of houses. Say we get 200 houses in there, right? We export that list off, skip trace it, and then we can market to it any other way, meaning ringless voicemail, text message, cold call, send a mail, email. You can touch them all in different ways because you don't know which way they're going to respond. And so that's the way I use it before I just send them a bunch of mail, because mail can get expensive, as you may know, right?
Absolutely. Hey, our KPIs on mail is we send out 1,000 mailers, which costs us $1.08 a piece. So that's 1,080 a month.
Wow.
And for like five months, we spend about 6,000 in 5 months to get 2 deals.
Wow.
So that's our KPIs for our mailers.
Wait a minute, what kind of list are you marketing to? What kind of list are you pulling?
That's just the high equity.
High equity. Oh, okay.
Absentee on the list. Just generic list.
Absentee and high equity. So you're specifically targeting for wholesale deals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. He wants to know, are you in this full-time or part-time?
No, I'm full-time. This is what I do. This is it.
Right.
This is it.
Full-time real estate investor. So are you doing any of those type of creative deals, or you stick to more so just wholesale?
Well, I got a deal in Pennsylvania that, I'd be on the fence about trying to, to try to do the creative financing with the owner financing and stuff. I haven't done anything yet, but I just made an offer today on the phone, and they supposed to get back to me. If they don't get back to me today, I'll call them tomorrow. But he had to talk it over with his wife. But I haven't done any like owner financing deals yet.
Yeah, I suggest learning that stuff, man. It's a game changer. It's so many wholesalers leaving money on the table. My biggest checks came from deals that wasn't even wholesale deals, and I still own the property. So you know that should tell you something right there. You can keep the house, get the check you was gonna get from a wholesale deal, and still make cash flow, and still have the house all in one thing. That's crazy. And so for more information on stuff like that, finding contracts, cool gear, and coaching, wokerealestate.com is the website. I put all that stuff up all the time, and I drop a lot of stuff on it. So how do people connect with you if they want to connect with you outside of, or just on social media? How do they find you?
Well, on Facebook, it's Ty Harris. That's TYE Harris. And on Instagram, it's Mr SmartBucks, at Mr SmartBucks. They can hit me up on either one of those platforms. I got Twitter also. I got Mr SmartBucks on Twitter.
Yeah, you lock down that name everywhere, man. You good with them names and words and making sure that nobody else get them, huh?
Hey, man, I'll be set.
Hashtag.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. SmartBucks, anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Nah, man, keep grinding, peace, be safe, life is good, stay up.
All right, wait a minute. I think we got another question in here. Wait a second here. Let's see here. How long did it take you to get your first deal?
It was maybe, it was about maybe 3 months, 4 months when we started mailing.
So you came out of the straight mailing game, say, I'm from mailing and I'm all in on it. Spend that money.
Actually, you know what? The first deal we did wasn't from a mail. It wasn't from a mail piece. It was from probate. The second deal was from mail. So while we was mailing and not getting any deals, and I sucked on the phone. I got some of the recorded calls, but hey, I was trying. My partner went to the probate and pulled the probate list, and she found a deal. I closed the deal, and then we found a buyer, and she found a buyer, so she got paid. So the way we structured it was, whoever found the deal and whoever found the buyer got the 5%. Like if we was running a business with employees. So she took, and we got 10%. So our structure was we get 10% off of every deal, right, from the door. That was for.
So you mean 10% of the profit or 10% of the price?
Of the profit, we got 10%. The structure we had was 10% of the profit off every deal, and then if our company found a deal from the mailings, nobody got any of that. But if you found a deal or if you found a buyer, you would get 5%. So the most you can make on any deal was 20%. But she found the deal and she found the buyer.
Dang.
So she got the 10%. So she got the whole 20% on the first deal.
So she was just making bank on top of bank on top of bank, huh?
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hustle, baby. That's what it's all about. When you get your hustle game up, you can get your muscle game up. So that sounds good. So glad to have you on here. And if you send me the links, I'll put them in the description of the video too, so people can follow you on Instagram or whatever else other social media you're on. And for other people that are watching on here, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Join the free Facebook group Woke Real Estate Investors on Facebook, talking about all type of creative deals subject to wraparound mortgages, lease options, all of that funky stuff, the stuff people like, I don't really want to mess with that. I only want to do wholesaling. That's cool to get your feet wet, but once you get a little bit of money coming in, I always suggest stepping the game up just a little bit, learn some of these creative strategies, because you're spending money on marketing anyway. People are coming to you to want to sell, and then you say, oh, well, I can only buy it if it meets Mayo formula. You leaving a lot of money on the table, just being real. Leaving a lot of money on the table on people who really want to sell, who really need your help. And if you educate yourself and all that, it's always easy to get that money coming into you versus I'm going to refer it to a real estate agent. That's cool, but I'll be like, man, you better learn how to get these deals. So other than that,
you keep them holding, right?
That's right. Buy and hold, put them on a lease option, sandwich lease option, something. There's no reason to leave all that money sitting on the table because you're spending the marketing dollars anyway. You might as well do something with the deals that's coming in your pipeline. My first creative deal like that was $21,000 on a deal that a wholesaler couldn't have touched, a real estate agent couldn't have touched, and probably most investors couldn't have touched. So it was like, I need to be digging into this, and I still got the house, I still get the cash flow from the property. So it's like, I need to dig a little more. So this creative stuff is wide open, man.
Yeah, I need to get with you on that, man. Maybe we can talk about this deal. You can help me structure this thing and see if it works.
Yep. I mean, that's my specialty now, man. I mean, I be looking for wholesale deals, but I don't really be in it like, that ain't my first go-to. How can I get it down low and beat them up on price? I want to get you the biggest price and get a better deal for everybody. Just stay in the deal. It's a lot better, like you were trying to do originally with your $63,000 deal. If you got to stay in the deal, you probably got to make more money over time. You know what I mean? Right. And got that same big check on the front end. That's how crazy this stuff be.
Yeah, I understand, because I could have wholesaled it to myself and still did the fix and refi.
All kind of stuff, man. This real estate game is wide open. So, like I said, for contracts, cool gear, and coaching, wokerealestate.com. Did you have anything else you want to say before I let you go?
That's it, man. I appreciate you for having me on, man. And we just keep it pushing, man. That's it.
I know that's right. All right, bro. All right, for like I said, everybody else that's on here watching, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And like I say, share it out to somebody who need to hear some of this good stuff. Give them some motivation, make them feel better. Let them know that, hey, man, there's another way to do this stuff. You ain't just got to go what everybody else say. Do something great. Be great and don't be late. Follow me on all social media outlets at Chris Monroe STL. That's Snapchat, that's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Facebook. That's all of them at Chris Monroe STL. Let's see here. Peace, Chris. All right. See ya. Thanks everybody that came in. And like I say, all the time, you know what I'm gonna say? Getting up out of here. About to get up out of here and do some more woke stuff. So do what you do, be who you be, and I'll see you before you see me. Peace out, family.